These tools are replacing jobs faster than anyone expected. It's not science fiction anymore. We're living through a technological shift so profound it's being compared to the Industrial Revolution. But this time, it's not just manual labor being automated, it's cognitive labor. The very tasks we thought were uniquely human, creativity, communication, analysis, are now being performed by algorithms. This isn't a distant future scenario. It's happening right now, in real time, across industries that were once considered safe from the tide of automation. The ground is shifting beneath our feet, and the landscape of work is being redrawn before our very eyes. The conversation has moved beyond simple chatbots and into a realm of sophisticated AI that can write, design, code, and even reason. These aren't just tools to assist us. They are becoming autonomous agents capable of handling complex workflows from start to finish. For many, this brings a sense of unease, a fear of being left behind. But for those who understand what's happening, it also presents an unprecedented opportunity. The key is to see beyond the initial disruption and recognize the new roles and possibilities emerging from this new technological. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on 10 specific AI tools that are at the forefront of this transformation. We'll explore not just what they do, but the real-world impact they're having on jobs today and what we can expect by 2025. This isn't about fear-mongering. It's about awareness. Understanding these tools is the first step toward navigating the future of work, a future that is arriving much faster than we were told. So, let's dive in. At the heart of this revolution is a tool that has become almost synonymous with AI itself, ChatGPT. Developed by OpenAI, it's more than just a chatbot. It's a powerful language model that has fundamentally altered our relationship with information and creation. Initially, its impact was felt in customer support, where automated agents could handle queries with a level of nuance previously unseen. This wasn't the clunky, frustrating chatbot of yesterday. This was a system that could understand context, empathize, and solve complex problems, operating 24/7 without fatigue. The ripple effect quickly spread to content creation. Bloggers, marketers, and journalists found that entire articles could be drafted in seconds. The laborious process of research, structuring, and writing was condensed into a single prompt. This efficiency is a double-edged sword. While it empowers individuals to produce more, it also devalues the raw skill of writing itself. Companies are now rethinking the need for large content teams when a single person armed with ChatGPT can manage the workload of 5. Beyond text, its capabilities extend into the realm of code. Developers are using it to debug, write boilerplate code, and even architect entire software modules. Junior developer roles, often focused on these more repetitive coding tasks, are now in a precarious position. Why hire a novice coder for a task that an AI can perform instantly and without error? This is leading to a restructuring of what it means to be a developer, shifting the focus from writing code to architecting systems and validating AI-generated solutions. This automation of communication and logic-based tasks is just the beginning. ChatGPT is being integrated into countless applications, becoming an invisible layer that powers everything from our email clients to our business intelligence software. It acts as a universal interface, translating human intention into machine executable tasks. The roles being replaced are those that act as intermediaries, the human bridges between a request and a result. As the AI becomes more proficient, the need for these human bridges diminishes. The core issue isn't that ChatGPT can write an email or a line of code. It's that it can perform these cognitive tasks at a scale and speed that is impossible for humans to match. The economic incentive to automate is overwhelming. Roles that are defined by the manipulation of language and information are facing an existential threat, forcing a rapid and often uncomfortable evolution in professions we once thought were secure. The question is no longer if these jobs will be automated, but how quickly. While ChatGPT conquered language, another tool quietly began to revolutionize the visual world. Midjourney, operating through the unassuming interface of a Discord server, unlocked the ability to create breathtaking images from simple text prompts. Suddenly, anyone could be a visual artist. The barrier between imagination and creation was dissolved. A user could type a photorealistic astronaut riding a horse on Mars, and within seconds a stunning professional-grade image would appear. This was a paradigm shift for creative industries. Graphic designers, illustrators, and concept artists whose careers were built on years of honing their technical skills watched as an AI replicated their styles with unnerving accuracy. The initial reaction was a mix of awe and dread. Mood boards, character concepts, and marketing visuals that once took days or weeks of painstaking work could now be generated in an afternoon. This drastically altered the economics of commercial art. Why commission an artist for a lengthy project when a subscription to Midjourney offers limitless possibilities? The impact is most visible in advertising and marketing. Companies in need of unique imagery for campaigns no longer have to rely on expensive stock photography or time-consuming photo shoots. They can generate a perfectly tailored image that matches their brand aesthetic instantly. This has led to a decline in demand for commercial illustrators and stock photographers, as the AI provides a cheaper, faster, and more customizable alternative. The value has shifted from the execution of the art to the crafting of the prompt. Even in fields like architecture and industrial design, Midjourney is being used for rapid ideation. An architect can visualize a dozen different building facades in a matter of minutes, exploring creative avenues that would have been too time-consuming to sketch by hand. This accelerates the creative process, but also consolidates the role of the designer. A single person can now manage the conceptual phase that might have previously required a small team of junior designers and sketch artists. Midjourney represents the automation of aesthetics. It has learned the visual language of humanity, our art history, our photographic styles, our cultural symbols, and can now speak it fluently. The jobs at risk are not just those of the starving artist, but of the skilled commercial craftsperson who provides the visual backbone for our economy. The new essential skill is not the ability to use a digital paintbrush, but the ability to articulate a vision in words so that the machine can bring it to life. The revolution didn't stop at text and images. The next frontier was moving pictures and the human voice. And Synthesia is leading the charge. This platform allows users to create professional quality videos featuring AI-generated avatars from nothing more than a script. You type in the text, choose an avatar and a voice, and the platform produces a polished video, complete with realistic lip syncing and human-like intonation. The implications for media and corporate communications are staggering. Consider the world of corporate training and onboarding. Companies spend vast sums on creating video content to educate their employees. This process traditionally involves hiring actors, a film crew, a studio, and editors. With Synthesia, this entire workflow is condensed into a task that can be handled by a single person at a desk. The need for on-camera talent, voiceover artists, and production crews for this type of content is rapidly evaporating. Updates to training material that once require expensive reshoots can now be done by simply editing a line of text. The impact extends into advertising and personalized marketing. Imagine receiving a video message from a brand where the spokesperson addresses you by name and references your recent purchase history. This level of personalization at scale was previously impossible. Synthesia makes it trivial. This creates a new form of communication but also displaces the actors and voiceover artists who form the backbone of the traditional advertising industry. Their unique voices and faces are being replaced by infinitely replicable digital counterparts. News reporting and educational content are also being transformed. Media outlets can use Synthesia to produce video news reports in multiple languages almost instantly, using digital anchors that are always available and never make a mistake on camera. Educators can create engaging video lessons without ever needing to step in front of a camera themselves. This democratizes video creation but also commoditizes the roles of presenters and narrators, whose skills are being simulated by the software. Synthesia is a stark example of how AI is not just automating repetitive tasks, but creative and performance-based roles as well. It challenges our very notion of what is real and what is synthetic. The jobs being replaced are those that rely on physical presence and vocal performance for the purpose of information delivery. As these AI avatars become indistinguishable from humans, the economic logic of choosing the cheaper, faster, and more versatile option will become undeniable for a huge swath of the media industry. So while ChatGPT is definitely a generalist, Jasper AI really emerged as a specialist, finely tuned for marketing and advertising. It was one of the first commercially successful models that focused specifically on generating persuasive copy. From high-converting ad headlines to long-form blog posts optimized for search engines, Jasper was designed with a single goal. This laser focus made it indispensable for marketing departments, but also became a direct threat to the copywriters they employed. The role of a junior copywriter often involves churning out vast amounts of content, social media updates, product descriptions, email newsletters, and blog articles. And these are the exact tasks that Jasper excels at. It can generate dozens of ad copy variations in the time it takes a human to write one. It can produce a 2,000-word blog post in minutes. This productivity is impossible to compete with, leading companies to shrink their writing teams and rely on a single marketing manager armed with an AI assistant. The platform's templates are built around proven marketing frameworks like AIDA and PIS. That means it's not just stringing words together, it's using psychological principles to craft compelling narratives. This automation even encroaches on senior copywriters' strategic territory, whose value lies in understanding consumer behavior. The AI has been trained on the same source material, learning what works and what doesn't from millions of successful campaigns. This automation extends to brand voice too. Companies can train Jasper on existing content, allowing it to adopt their tone, style, and terminology. That ensures consistency across marketing channels, often a major challenge for large human writing teams. A brand's voice, once carefully curated by skilled writers, can now be replicated by an algorithm. Creative flair is being replaced by AI-driven consistency. The result is a fundamental shift in the marketing landscape. Demand is moving away from writing ability towards strategic oversight and AI management. The new role isn't the writer, but the AI content strategist. Someone who generates the best prompts, selects the strongest AI options, and adds final human refinement. For traditional copywriters who rely on writing from a blank page, the writing is literally on the wall. If Midjourney is the master of polished artistic imagery, then DALL-E, another creation from OpenAI, is definitely the master of conceptual and surreal visualization. DALL-E and its successors are incredibly adept at understanding complex, abstract prompts and generating unique images that feel genuinely novel. This capability is sending shockwaves through creative industries that rely on originality, like product design, fashion, and fine art. It's a tool that doesn't just replicate styles, it actually invents them. Product designers are now using DALL-E to rapidly prototype new ideas. A prompt like a minimalist chair made of recycled ocean plastic in the style of Dieter Rams can yield dozens of visual concepts in seconds. This initial brainstorming phase, which could take a team of designers days of sketching and mood boarding, is now basically instantaneous. This kind of efficiency is invaluable, but it also reduces the need for junior designers, whose primary role is often to assist in this kind of ideation. In the world of fashion, DALL-E can generate entire collections based on abstract themes. A designer could explore a line of winter coats inspired by brutalist architecture and cherry blossoms and receive a whole portfolio of visual ideas. This really accelerates the creative cycle, but also raises questions about the role of the traditional fashion illustrator. The ability to quickly visualize an entire collection bypasses the need for painstaking manual sketching, consolidating more of the creative process into the hands of a single lead designer. Even the world of fine art isn't immune. Artists are using DALL-E as a collaborator, a muse, or even as the primary tool of creation. This has sparked a pretty fierce debate about the nature of authorship and creativity. When an artist's main contribution is the crafting of a text prompt, what does that mean for the value of technical skill and artistic tradition? It really challenges the very definition of an artist and affects the livelihoods of those who create tangible, physical artworks. The core disruption of DALL-E is its ability to translate abstract language into concrete visual form. This impacts any profession that acts as a bridge between an idea and its first visual representation. Concept artists for films and video games, architectural visualizers, and industrial designers are all seeing parts of their workload being automated. The value is shifting from the hand that holds the pencil to the mind that conceived the prompt, a fundamental change in where creativity is actually located. Video and audio editing has always been this timeline-based technical craft. Editors meticulously slice and rearrange waveforms and video clips. But Descript completely upended this paradigm by making media editing as simple as editing a text document. The software transcribes the audio or video, and then the user can edit the media simply by deleting, copying, and pasting the words in the transcript. Deleting a word in the text removes the corresponding audio and video. It's an incredibly intuitive approach that has some pretty profound implications for editors. For podcasters, Descript is honestly a game changer. The laborious process of removing ums, ahs, and false starts, which could take hours of careful audio editing, can now be done with a single click. The software can identify and eliminate filler words automatically. It can even create a synthetic version of your voice, so you can correct misspoken words just by typing the correction. This level of automation drastically reduces the need for professional podcast editors, especially for smaller productions. The tool's impact is just as significant in video editing. Corporate videos, interviews, and social media content can be rough cut in a fraction of the time. An editor or producer can quickly assemble a narrative by highlighting and arranging text in the transcript without ever touching a traditional video timeline. This makes the initial, most time-consuming part of the editing process accessible to anyone, reducing the reliance on technically skilled video editors for basic assembly tasks. Transcription services are also facing direct competition. Descript provides highly accurate speaker-labeled transcripts almost instantly. This service, which was once the entire business model for many companies and freelancers, is now just a built-in feature of an editing suite. The role of the human transcriber, who meticulously listens and types out dialogue, is becoming increasingly obsolete as the AI's accuracy continues to improve. Descript represents the automation of the craft of editing. It abstracts away the technical complexity, focusing instead on the content itself, while high-end cinematic editing still requires the nuanced touch of a skilled professional. The vast majority of editing work for corporate, educational, and online content is being simplified to the point where specialists are no longer required. The editor's role is shifting from a technical operator to a story architect, but honestly, the demand for the former is shrinking fast. The reach of AI is extending beyond professional tasks and into one of the most personal aspects of human experience, companionship, and mental well-being. Replica is an AI chatbot designed to be a friend, a confidant, and a source of emotional support. Users can talk to their replica about their day, their fears, and their dreams, and the AI responds with empathy, encouragement, and non-judgmental listening. This has created a new and honestly kind of controversial category of AI application. While not a replacement for licensed therapists, Replica and similar apps are occupying a space once filled by entry-level counseling and support workers. They provide a low-cost, immediately accessible outlet for people experiencing loneliness, anxiety, or mild depression. For individuals who cannot afford traditional therapy, an AI companion can be a valuable resource. This raises complex ethical questions, but the practical impact on the mental health support field is undeniable. The role of a peer support specialist or companionship provider is being challenged. These roles provide a listening ear and consistent supportive interaction. An AI like Replica can provide this 24/7 with perfect memory of past conversations and without personal biases or fatigue that humans experience. The scalability of this model is something human services simply cannot match. These AIs are also used for skill building in social interactions. Users can practice difficult conversations, work on their communication style, or have a safe space to express themselves without fear of social repercussions. This overlaps with the work of social coaches and behavioral therapy. The AI becomes a training ground for real-world interactions, once exclusively human territory. The existence of Replica points to a future where AI plays a significant role in our emotional lives. The jobs at risk are not psychiatrists or clinical psychologists, but the broader support network of counselors, companions, and wellness coaches. As these AIs become more sophisticated in understanding human connection, the line between synthetic and human support will continue to blur, reshaping the landscape of care. Creating a compelling presentation is, honestly, a crucial skill in the business world. It usually takes a combination of strategic thinking, some design sense, and persuasive writing. Tom is an AI platform that aims to automate this entire process. All a user has to do is enter a single prompt, like say a pitch deck for a new sustainable coffee brand, and Tom generates a complete multi-slide presentation. It writes the text, sources relevant images, and arranges everything into a clean, professional design. This really impacts the work of business consultants, marketing strategists, and graphic designers who are often hired to create high-stakes presentations and pitch decks. For example, a startup seeking funding might have previously paid a consultant thousands of dollars to craft their pitch. Now they can generate a sophisticated first draft in just minutes using Tome, which drastically reduces their reliance on outside help. The AI basically acts as a co-founder, a strategist, and a designer, all rolled into one. The role of the presentation designer, someone who specializes in the visual communication of ideas through slides, is especially vulnerable here. Tome's AI understands design principles like hierarchy, color theory, and layout. It can create visually coherent and aesthetically pleasing presentations without any human input at all. This really commoditizes a skill set that used to be a valuable and distinct profession. The need for a dedicated PowerPoint or keynote expert within a company is definitely diminishing. Even for internal communications, Tome streamlines the workflow. A manager who needs to present quarterly results can just input the raw data and the key takeaways, and the AI will structure it into a clear and compelling narrative. This saves hours of work and ensures a high standard of communication across the organization. But It also reduces the need for junior analysts or assistants whose job might have included preparing these very reports and presentations. Toom is more than just a template generator. It's a storytelling engine. It understands how to structure a narrative to be persuasive and engaging. This sort of encroaches on the core value proposition of many strategic roles. By automating the creation of business narratives, Toom is changing what it means to be a strategist. The emphasis shifts from building the story from scratch to refining and validating the story that the AI has already created, which is honestly a pretty big change in the nature of corporate work. The world of film and video production has always been defined by highly specialized technical roles. Visual effects artists, colorists, and video editors spend years mastering complex software. Runway ML is a suite of AI-powered creative tools that's making these advanced techniques accessible to everyone. It's like having a Hollywood post-production studio right in your web browser, and it's changing the game for content creator. One of Runway's most powerful features is its ability to perform complex VFX tasks with super simple inputs. Rotoscoping, which is the painstaking process of tracing objects frame by frame to isolate them from their background, can now be done with just a skilled click. Removing unwanted objects from a video, something that used to require a skilled VFX artist, is now automated. This majorly lowers the barrier to entry for creating professional-looking video and reduces the demand for artists who specialize in these time-consuming tasks. The platform also includes generative video tools, so users can create video clips from text prompts or existing images. A feature called text-to-video. A filmmaker can now generate a specific shot, like a drone shot flying over a CGI team. This opens up incredible creative possibilities. But it also makes the roles of camera operators, location scouts, and certain CGI artists less essential for a lot of productions. Color grading and style transfer are also being automated. A user can apply the color palette of a famous film to their own footage with just a single click, a process that would have required a professional colorist. These tools can analyze footage and automatically balance colors and exposure, streamlining the post-production workflow and consolidating the roles of editor and colorist into one. The specialist's nuanced eye is, in many cases, being replaced by a powerful algorithm. Runway ML really represents the democratization of high-end video production. While big-budget feature films will still rely on large teams of specialists, the vast majority of video content for YouTube, social media, and corporate use can now be produced at a much higher quality by smaller teams or even individuals. This is leading to a consolidation of roles in the media industry, where the generalist content creator who can manage AI tools is becoming more valuable than the specialist who's mastered a single, now automatable craft. The legal profession, which has long been considered a bastion of complex, knowledge-based work, is now facing its own AI disruption. Harvey AI, built on OpenAI's technology and backed by some major law firms, is an AI platform designed specifically for legal work. It can analyze complex legal documents, draft contracts, perform due diligence, and conduct legal research in a fraction of the time it would take a human. Its arrival really marks a pivotal moment for the legal industry. The roles most immediately affected are those of paralegals and junior associates. A significant portion of their work involves document review, sifting through thousands of pages of contracts or discovery documents to find relevant clauses or information. Harvey can perform this task with greater speed and accuracy, flagging potential risks and summarizing key points. This automation of legal grunt work means law firms can operate with leaner support teams. Contract drafting and analysis is another area of transformation. A lawyer can ask Harvey to draft a standard non-disclosure agreement for a software company, or analyze this lease agreement for unfavorable clauses for the tenant. The AI can generate a robust first draft or provide a detailed analysis in seconds. This reduces billable hours and streamlines the workflow, but it also automates a key training ground for young lawyers, where they learn the fundamentals of legal practice. Legal research, which is really the cornerstone of building a case, is also being revolutionized. Instead of spending hours searching through databases like Westlaw or LexisNexis, a lawyer can simply ask Harvey a question in plain English, like, what is the precedent in the Ninth Circuit for copyright infringement regarding AI-generated art? The AI can synthesize information from countless sources and provide a concise referenced answer. This changes the role of the legal researcher from a finder of information to a validator of AI-generated summaries. Harvey AI isn't replacing senior lawyers who provide strategic counsel and appear in court. Instead, it's automating the foundation layer of legal work. This is creating a hollowing out of the profession where the demand for entry-level and support roles is shrinking dramatically. Law firms are rethinking their entire structure, moving towards a model where experienced lawyers leverage AI to handle the workload previously managed by a team of juniors. The path to becoming a partner is being fundamentally redrawn by this technology. The 10 tools we've just explored are not isolated curiosities. They're really the vanguard of a systemic change. The common thread here is the automation of cognitive tasks that were, until very recently, the exclusive domain of skilled human professionals. This isn't about the future, it's about the present. The displacement is already happening. Ignoring this shift is just not an option. The critical question you have to ask yourself isn't if your job will be affected, but how you'll adapt when it is. The choice is between being a victim of this change or an architect of your future within it. The path forward is not to compete against the AI, but to collaborate with it. This requires a pretty fundamental pivot in our approach to skills and careers. The first step is reskilling. You need to actively learn how to use these tools. Become the best Jasper prompt engineer in your marketing team. Master Runway ML so you can be a one-person video production house. The value isn't just in the core skill, writing, designing, coding, but in your ability to leverage AI to amplify that skill to an unprecedented degree. Embrace the role of the AI wrangler, the human who guides the machine to produce the best results. This moment in history is honestly defined by both urgency and opportunity. The urgency comes from the sheer speed of this transformation. Waiting to adapt is the losing strategy. The opportunity lies in the democratization of capabilities. Individuals and small teams can now wield power that once belonged only to large corporations. This is the time to be curious, to be proactive, and to invest in yourself. Learn the tools, understand the systems, and position yourself at the intersection of human creativity and artificial intelligence. That's where the new jobs will be created, and that's how you'll thrive in this new era.